I'm going to unbox and try out this new Chicago Electric Habor Freight sliding miter saw, 10-inch. Looks as though they sent us some extra brushes. I guess they expect it to last many years. That's okay. I'm glad they did. Got a dust bag in case you're working inside a house. It works fairly well. On the ones I've used in the past, you still get a lot of stuff on the ground, but at least it doesn't fly around in the air, so this is a good fix. The end supports for long extra boards. Bad at all to carry around. It's fairly light considering all the others that I've used over the years. And the nice thing is that it fits on a small platform. This other one, I just got one sawhorse. I mount a piece of plywood on there, 48 inches long. That carries most of my work. That's plenty long. Plus I can always add extensions with a piece of plywood on top. So this thing works really great, which means, yes, it's a perfect fit. I like that about that. So now I got me a universal support for all my 3 miter saws. It's got a release. It looks like it didn't come with a, I'm going to have to check. It looks like it didn't come with a saw blade. Let me check the box. It did not come with a blade. I never use them anyway because they're so bad. So let me go get one of my other blades. Got me an extra Diablo blade. These things are great. Now if I'm using, of course this is just a 40 tooth, but if I'm cutting black walnut or pecan or something like that, then an 80 or 100 tooth blade would be great. But being all I do is cut trim and crown, this blade is perfect. And I've usually got 4 or 5 of them that I keep. It does come with a wrench to undo all your stuff to get the blade on there. Well, I was hoping I wouldn't have to take the whole thing off, but let's see what they say about releasing the latch. Okay, here it shows taking the bolt out. Oh, we're taking the bolt out of the one taking this bolt out too. Which means you're not only going to lose one screw, but you're going to lose 2 if you're not careful. And of course the wrench doesn't fit it. That's total aggravation right there. Okay, at least I've got my standbys. Okay, well now we've got your blade lock, spindle lock, blade lock, whatever you want to call it. And it's a Chinese left thread. What I can't believe is this thing is a two-man replacement. Boy, howdy, this thing's... Luckily you don't have to change this thing every day, but you got to have somebody hold this thing up. Then you've got to have somebody to hold this thing straight. I do.
How's Joe?
The best thing to do is just take this thing off. And then you got to make sure this washer is centered on there correctly. Whatever you do, don't get that thing too tight, because and sometimes it's even best to put non-seize on those threads, because as this thing turning, it's trying to tighten up that bolt. So you get to a point to where you can't even get that bolt out of there if you're not careful. Alright, let's put this thing back together. I hope I haven't lost any of the screws yet. As far as the working part of it, it glides great from side to side. Laying the bevel over, I'm going to use those detents. The detents that's here is, of course, 45, 30, 22 and a half, 15, and 0. And we'll check it out to see how accurate they are. As far as the bevel, it nicely lays over like it should without a lot of slop to it. I like that. I like the way it slides too. And one thing I want to caution you, you always want to have these saws, when you're using them as a slide saw, you always want to make sure they're kind of tilted backwards so that the saw will pull itself back to the start position. You don't want this thing to be creeping forward on you. Now, I haven't touched any of the adjustments whatsoever, but we're going to see how it does coming straight from the factory. Now, all saws might not be like this, but we're going to say that we're just going to check this one the way it is. Very easy to maneuver. Alright, now let's cut 4 corners. Let's make a square, and let's see how accurate the angles are. We're going to just do a 45 degree. We're going to swing it both ways to get us a square, just to see how well it works out. This is straight from the factory like this. I must say, that is not too bad at all. We've got one little area where it's just touching right there. There's a little gap the rest of the way. Now I realize this is cedar, but I am really impressed on how well they set the saw up. So this is really a good buy for somebody in the carpentry business or something. I'm not sure how long this saw is going to last, how well it's going to hold up, you know, as far as shifting one side to the other, the bevel. The only thing I don't like, it doesn't have the detents for the crown molding setting, so we're going to have to make our own settings there, and we'll do that at another time. Alright, well, I sure hope this helps you all. Talk to you later.